today. Today we'll be discussing the 7 classes of people in the School of Money. But before that, I want us to, before we dive into the discussion of today, I want us to do a little bit of a recap for the benefit of those of us that missed out on the last section. I want us to do a little bit recap. Sorry, I'm trying to check and be sure that my mic is on. Okay, so here's a summary of what we did last week. Now, we talked about how perception is a personal view of things. Perception is how people see you personally, the way people view you, the way people perceive you. That's what perception is. And the value is created when you solve a problem. We talked about your ability to create value, which leads to your ability to earn more money. So our goal is to pursue value and not money, because money is not valuable. Unlike gold that carries a direct value to human, money is just paper. It doesn't carry much value. It's just a medium of exchange. All right. So perceived value rules the world today, because perception is a cognitive realism. So when we say perception rules the world, it means how you make people see you is what they believe. And that is why, even as an online business person, we always tell you, be mindful of your personal branding. Whatever you put out there is what people perceive and they believe it, whether it's true or not. All right. So perceived value rules the world today. Hence, you don't need to have any scarcity mindset, but you need to embrace what I call abundance mindset, because everything you want is available to you in abundance. You just have to know where they are and how to access it and what to exchange for that thing that you want. Okay, we also talked about real money being made when you are the owner of something, and that's why you need to have what we call the ownership mindset. We talked about how you don't need to be in a haste to own something or carry something around you. Rather, be intentional, do your due diligence. As much as you need to have the ownership mindset, before you go about owning something, first of all, carry out your diligence. Make a due diligence. Do a due diligence first on that business you want to start. If it's valuable, does it solve a relevant problem in the world? Do people really need it? Do you have the solution that can be profile to solving that problem? You need to do your research before you venture into a business. Even if you don't have the cash, do your research. If not, if you don't research about a business and just dive into a business out of passion, there's a high tendency that you're going to crash. All right, so learn to ask questions. We talked about that. Learn how to ask questions, not just any kind of question. Learn to ask the correct question. Instead of you saying, I can't afford this, you need to ask yourself, how can I afford this? The how can mindset is the right money mindset. When you say, how can I, you've put your mind in a position to go and search for ideas and solutions and answers and bring to you in order for you to implement and execute. Okay. So all the money you will ever need in this world are in people's pockets. All you have to do is to find a problem, find these people that have the problem, know where they are, find a problem, then go and create a solution and sell it to them in exchange of what? Value. And trust me, they are going to buy from you. Okay, so we also talked about how money is a seed, a means to an end. Every money that flows into you or flows to your pocket is a seed, is not an end. Money is not the end goal, is a means to the end goal. So you need to start seeing money as a seed, which is supposed to bear more fruit. What is a seed? When you get a fruit and you remove the seed, you plant it, the seed dies and generates and grows back. And when it grows back, it grows back into a fruitful plant and creates a bounty harvest with more fruits. You see, so money is a seed that is supposed to bear you more money. So you need to always learn how to separate your seed money from your fruits money. Let me take that again. You need to learn how to separate your seed money from your fruit money. When money comes into your hand, know it's a seed. Remove a portion that is going to serve as a seed that you're going to send out on an errand to go make more money, and have the portion that is what? Fruit money. When we say fruit money, we're talking about money you spend on liabilities, expenses. All right. Rather, seed money and money you spend on income generating assets, and the rest of them. Okay. We also talked about you not forgetting that people are your greatest assets. You need to learn to treat people right, with respect. Give them that value. Keep helping people. Know that people are your greatest assets, and relationship is a golden currency. Okay, we also talked about your ability to help other people achieve their desire, and also when you help them achieve their desire, in return your desire will be achieved. The more people you help in life, the more life will reward you with the things you want. Okay, just like the golden rule, um heaven help those who help themselves. um Love your neighbor as yourself. You know the rule. So the more people you help, in return life will give you what you want. And finally, we talked about being deliberate about your environment, guiding what you feed your mind with through your eyes, your nose, your mouth, your ears, your skin. You need to guide what you feed your mind with, because these things are the gateway to your soul, and it's very, very important. Okay, so this is a summary of what we discussed last week for those of you that missed it. So I hope you were able to pick one or two things. But I think there should be a replay somewhere. But those of you in the community, you gain access to the replay. All right. But for those of you on YouTube, I think there's a replay for you on my channel. So just go to the channel and you have a download of everything that we did last week. Okay, so having said that, let's dive back into the topic of today. Today we are going to talk about the 7 classes of people in the School of Money. Remember, last week I started an episode of the right mindset that every business owner and entrepreneur needs to have this year 2025. So we are going to wrap up that session by learning about the 7 different kinds of people in the School of Money. Now, before that, I want us to take a little bit of our time and go back to, I don't know how many of us have read Rich Dad Poor Dad. I read that book when I was, I think, in university. Now, if you're very familiar with Robert Kiyosaki and his writing about Rich Dad Poor Dad, or if you've read the cash flow quadrant, you will remember that there was this quadrant he drew. He called it the cash flow quadrant. Now, in that quadrant, it's like a square. We have the income, the assets, the expenses, and the liabilities. Now, it says that when money comes into you as a seed, it comes in as an income. You profited from something, or you were paid money for something. Now, when that money comes in, we call it the inflow. Now, when it comes in, if you use it as a seed, then you direct it to assets. There are different types of assets, but that's not the topic of today. Okay, so that's the first quadrant. The first quadrant is the income, the assets. Then the other side of the quadrant, you have expenses and you also have liabilities. Okay, so I need you to identify where you are in this quadrant, in this rectangle now, and set your goal where you are now. When we talk about income means you have either you have a job, or you have a business, you have a skill you're offering as a service, you're doing something and you're making money. That is income. Assets means things you have that are generating more income for you, things that brings in money for you. That is assets. Then expenses are things that takes money out of you, especially all this necessity, food, amenities, school fees, and all that. All right. Then we have liabilities. Liabilities are also things that take money out of you. They are not necessary expenses, but majorly liabilities are more like things you want, but they don't generate money for you. Okay. So that's just like a layman's language. So I'm going to explain these 4 quadrants. Then I need you to identify yourself where you are and set a goal of where you are to where you want to be. All right, so what's income? Now, income is an inflow, like I said before, is an inflow of money that comes through an exchange of value. So it's either you've exchanged value, you've offered your time to earn your salary, or you sold something and made a profit. It could be service or products, okay, through sales, or someone gifted you the money. That is income. Okay, is an inflow of money. Now, expenses are the things that you spend money on to stay alive. For example, your food, your rent, healthcare, etc. All right. Now, we now have liabilities. Liabilities are those things that need to be serviced. Okay, they could be your need, more like they could be your wants, not necessarily your need, but your wants. But sometimes it could be your need. Okay. Now, liabilities has no direct benefit to you. It doesn't add any value to you. Most of them, rather, it costs you more. Now, back then when I was having an offline training, I always ask my audience, is car and a house is a house a liability? Some people would drag and say house is an asset, but the truth is a house is not an income generating asset if you are living in the house. But if it's a house you rented and they are paying you rent, then yes, it's an income generating asset. So we are not here to debate on that, but just know that liabilities could be a Gucci bag, a fancy clothes, an expensive that you don't necessarily need. It's not adding value to you directly. It's just like something you want. You just want to show off, something like that. All right. But in some cases, so I don't want us to go into the argument of, oh, this is a liability, oh, this is not. Just know that whatever that is not adding value to you and is taking money out of you, no questions asked, that thing is what? A liability. All right. So let's talk about assets. Now, assets are those things that bring in cash flow for you. It could be in form of spending your money on properties, buying land, buying things that will give you more profit, or in venturing into a business. Okay, whatever that adds value to you, that brings in money to you, is what is an asset. For example, we have the likes of the land banking, we have real estate, we have farming, agriculture. The list goes on and on and on. All right, so those are assets. Whatever that brings more money into your pocket is an asset. Okay, so my first assignment for each and every one of you is that I need you to take out your pen, your paper, or your notepad. For those of us that like writing on laptops or on our phones or our iPad, I need you to list all your income types, everything that brings in money into your pocket. List them, then differentiate the one that is an income and the one that is an asset. Likewise, do the same. Write down everything that takes money out of your pocket and separate them, categorize them in terms of expenses and liabilities. All right. I need you to know that your goal from this cash flow quadrant is for you to reduce your liabilities, earn more income that can cover your expenses, and help you build more assets that can generate more income for you. Let me take that again. The goal of this cash flow and the goal of the 7 types of people in the School of Money is, one, for you to reduce your liabilities, those things that take money away from you that does not add value to you. Reduce them, then earn more money, earn more income, have more sources of income, things that bring money into you that can cover your expenses, which is a necessity, and also help you build more assets that can generate more money for you. All right, so having said that, let's talk about the first class of people in the School of Money. Now, the first class of people in the School of Money, number one, they are the people who have zero income. In fact, their own is even worse. They have zero income, but they have more expenses. They have a pile of expenses but zero income, meaning they are not making money. They are on a minus, on a negative when it comes to money, income. They are not earning money, okay? But they are very positive on what? Expenses. They have a lot of expenses. Now, if you have zero income but a lot of expenses, then you know that you yourself as a person, you are a liability and you're poor. Those of us on YouTube, hope you can hear me. Please, you can hear me, just type 111 if you can hear me. All right, so that is the first class of people. So let's start checking ourselves. Are you in the first class of people, the first class of people in the money school who have zero income but have a lot of expenses? Okay, it means it's either you're poor and you're a liability to yourself. All right, so having said that, let's talk about the second class of people in the School of Money. Now, the second class of people in the School of Money, these people are the people who have earned income. They have an earned income, meaning they are positive on income. There's something that is bringing in money for them, but their income is less than their expenses. So the first group of people, their income, which is my right hand, is on the negative, their expenses is high. So they don't, in fact, their income is zero, their expenses is high. All right, but this second group of people, they have income, but the income is low and the expenses is high. So it means that they are making money, but the money does not cover their expenses. So if you're an earned income, if your earned income is less than your expenses, you are in debt. You are not poor, you are not a liability, but you are in debt. And the only way you can sustain your expenses is by borrowing money, which itself is a bad debt, because we have good debts, we have bad debts. But I'm not here to teach about that. Okay, good debts are debts that you can collect that generates more money for you, that serves as an asset to help you generate more money inflow. But bad debts are debts that you collect that goes into liabilities and expenses. All right, so I hope I've done justice to that. Okay, so this second group of people, they are poor, and more importantly, they are in debt. Okay, a good debt, like I said, is when your assets is greater than your income and expenses. And that is why you see a lot of billionaires, for example, Dangote, they worth a lot of things, but that worth of what they, for example, they say Dangote is the first richest man in Africa. He's worth $100 billion. That money is not in their bank accounts. It's not even in their bank statement. Rather, it is in the assets that they own, which generates more residual and consistent cash flow for them. Okay, so you need to pay attention to that. So the third class of people in the money of school are the people who have earned income. They have an earned income that is equal to their expenses. So they are making money. The money they are making covers their expenses. So it's equal. As they are making money, they are spending. It covers their expenses. So this group of people, they are not poor, they are not in debt, they are comfortable, but we call them broke middle class. Why broke? Because as they're making money, it's just like hand to mouth. They are consuming their money, they are spending the money. They don't have anything for what savings. They don't even have savings at all. All right. So the fourth class of people in the school of money are the people that have earned income that is greater than their expenses. So they are making money, and the money they are making is more than their expenses. Okay, so this group of people are called the middle class because their earned income is slightly above their expenses. Okay, so when they earn money, they spend on their expenses, they still have little to save and little to invest in order to make more money from assets, in order for them to invest into liabilities. Okay, so that is the fourth kind of people, and most of the times they even go ahead to invest more in liabilities than in assets, and that's the problem with these people. Very, very bad. Okay, so the fifth kind of people, the fifth class of people in the school of money are the people who have earned income that is lesser than their assets but greater than their expenses. They have earned income, they have assets, but their earned income is lesser than their assets, meaning their assets generate more, but their earned income is greater than their expenses. So meaning it covers their expenses. Okay, so here I need you to know that there are two types of assets. There's what we call the earned active income is an asset, and we have residual passive income. All right, earned active income could be things like if you're very fully into real estate. There are different types of real estate, but let's not go there because that's a whole topic of its own. If you're, it's an active income, meaning it needs your involvement. Passive means it doesn't need your 100% attention. Okay, and the people in this class are called the rich middle class. They are not rich. They are not rich to escape the middle class, but they are very comfortable and they act like they are rich, but they are still in the middle class. So you are not rich if you don't have residual income. What makes you rich is if you have a residual income, because as a rich middle class person, when your earned income stop flowing, you need a residual income to flow. You need a cash flow that's coming from a residual income. Okay, so my dear Alpha Lions, I need you to start working towards growing your capacity to earn residual income, and not just active income, but residual income. Okay, so residual income, we're talking about things like real estate, land, stock, bonds, and the rest of them, mutual funds, and stuff like a paper portfolio. There are quite a whole lot. Okay, so now let's talk about the sixth, which is the second to the last kind of people. Now, the sixth class of people in the school of money are people that have earned income that is equal to their assets but greater than their expenses. So these people, they have the end income which is equal to their assets. What the other, they set their second other streams of income. Okay, so these people, they are simply rich because their end income is equal to their assets but greater than their expenses. Now, the seventh kind of people I love so much, this is my best. The seventh class of people in the school of money are the people who have earned income that is greater than their assets, which is greater than their expenses. Now, these people are called the super rich people, or let's best describe them as the wealthy people, because there's a difference between rich and wealthy. Okay, so these people have assets that can be used as a collateral, like they have assets they can use in collecting loan and spend it. For example, Dangote, if you're in Nigeria, the richest man in Nigeria and also in Africa, he borrowed, was it 90 billion naira to build a refinery? He didn't have that money, but because he has an asset that worth that kind of money, they were able to loan him the money. Okay, so the wealthy people, they are wealthy and they can do anything they want because they have so much assets that can generate cash flow consistently for them. And that is why they can take up loan from anywhere and spend it the way they want, because they have enough assets that will cover for that. And the reason why people trust them to give them those kind of loans is because they have the assets that is backing it up. All right, and those assets can even serve as a collateral. Okay, so my dear Alpha Lions in business, these are the seven classes of people in the school of money. So my question to you right now is, where do you belong? Where do you fall? Which classes, from the class number 1 to 7, which of these classes are you currently? You don't need to tell me, but check yourself, mark yourself, grade yourself, then tell me which of the class do you want to, are you aspiring to be? Personally, I aspire to be in level 7, and as God may have it, I am in level 6. All right, so ask yourself, each and every one of you listening to me here, you need to aspire to be in level 7. So wherever you are, move up to the next level until you attain level 7. Level 7 is your destination, not final destination, but that is your destination. Because even those I know that are in level 7, they are still doing quite a whole lot. They are not resting. Okay, so that is it. So having said that, you need to put yourself in a position where you are pushed, you are gingered. Let me borrow that word. You are being on your toes to keep making money. What's the next big deal? What's the next idea? Your next $1 or your next 2,000 naira should be more important to you than the next 1 million naira that is already sitting in your bank account, or the $1 million that is already sitting in your bank account that you already have. No, what you already have is past tense. You should be thinking of how can I get the next dollar? How can I get the next 2,000 naira? You need to ignore what you already have in your bank account, but do not ignore your next income. Where is your next income coming from? And that's one thing that is very familiar between everybody in this class, more especially people from level 2 to 7, especially level 7. Where is the next income coming from? They are more like living a life of significance and impact. All right, so I need you to always think about, where is the next cash flow coming from? Where is my next cash flow? What do I need to do? And trust me, this is one of my secrets. I intentionally make myself broke. As a result of this, it puts me on my toe to keep looking for where the next cash flow is coming from me. If I generate an income right now, I dispatch them into different accounts for different purposes, and my primary accounts will be reading either $1 or -$1 negative. Why? Because I want to be on my toes always. I don't want to relax. I don't want to feel that comfort. I don't want to find myself in a comfort zone. I want to keep chasing after the next dollar, the next naira, the next cash flow. I need to be chasing the next challenge, the next problem, the next value, the next solution. I want to always be in the chasing mode and never in the comfort mode. Okay? And I always ask myself, how do I generate? Every blessed day I ask myself, how do I generate more cash flow today? Every day is a blessed day for me. I ask myself, how do I generate the more cash flow? This is a question I ask myself so that I don't get comfortable, because your win can turn to be a a negative thing to you if you stay comfortable. So you don't have the right to sleep or go to bed when you've not even earned minimum of $1 or 2,000 naira in a day. Okay, so that is me. I'm just sharing with you guys what I do to keep myself always on my toe as I look out for my next cash flow. All right, so my dear Alpha Lions in business, I'll leave you with this message from the business Bible I had from one of my mentors. He said, seek ye first cash flow, and all material things will be added unto you. Okay, so when we say cash flow means daily income, daily bank account, and daily bank alerts, daily income. That's what cash flow means. So seek ye first. I know in the Bible they say, seek ye first the kingdom of God, and everything you need will be added unto you. Now in business, there's this version in the business Bible. It says, seek ye first cash flow, and everything money can buy will be added unto you. Why? Because cash flow is what? King. So my dear Alpha Lions in business, learn to build your garden with beautiful flowers so that those butterflies can be attracted to you. And that is what it means to be a business owner that have the solution to people's problem and is ready to offer it as a value, and your customers, your clients, people around the world who are butterflies will be attracted to you. And that is why, remember, we said focus on value and not money. All right, so as a business owner, if you're struggling with any of these areas I mentioned in your business process, if you're struggling in any of your business processes, be it sales, be it marketing or anything, or even to streamline or automate your business processes or your sales and marketing processes, do well to send me a DM or use the link on my bio, or you can visit my website at Eminent Augusta, www.eminentaugusta.com, and book a strategy section with me so that I can help you streamline your business processes. I'm also going to drop the link down the description section, or you check for the link in my bio. Okay, I'm going to help you streamline your business processes. I'm going to help you make more sales. I'm going to help you automate your sales processes. I'm going to help you automate your marketing processes, which will in turn save you more time, more energy, and more resources. Trust me, as a business owner, you deserve freedom. You deserve the best. You deserve time freedom for yourself, for your personal care, your mental health, and also to have enough time to spend with your loved ones. You deserve to have that bold confidence that comes as a business person, that when you think about your business, you don't really need to be physically present. That boldness that comes from being a successful business owner that has systems and automations running his business smoothly for him, and has been able to delegate his business through a structured system. All right, so my dear Alpha Lions, I love you, I'm rooting for you, and I remain your number one business cheerleader. Always make sure you follow me on this page. If you're just watching, follow, like this video. That is just the payback, the thank you you're going to give me. And make sure you share this video with your friends. Share it on your status, share it on your stories, share it to various communities you are, and make sure you become a blessing to someone through this video. Okay, I remain my humble self, Eminent Augusta Ihezu. So don't forget to follow this page, turn on your post notification, and if you gain value from this, kindly share to your friends, your community members, as well as your loved ones. See it as a way of adding value to their life as you become a channel of blessing to them. So thank you very much, and see you in our next episode. Bye.